things are somewhat on a hold because out of the Korea bilateral meetings, there was basically a decision reached that China would not impose more controls on its export of rare earths, and in exchange, the U.S. would pull back on an expansion of controls over exports to affiliates of listed entities. And with this détente has come considerable uncertainty about what is next with Trump administration policy. So it's a long way of saying, I don't know. We will see on sort of a day-by-day basis what comes of it and whether each side holds up to their agreement. The administration said that these controls would kick back in 1 year, and over the course of this next year, they will be evaluating that policy. The way to the way to think about Trump administration export control policy also by personality is that there are some who would like a broader decoupling from the Chinese economy for reasons that have been described elsewhere. There's others who want to focus, particularly in the AI world, on advancing and promoting the AI U.S. technology stack. And then there's another group that simply wants to view controls on a more transactional basis, on a case-by-case basis, to see how the controls could be used to motivate more investment in the U.S. And support for U.S. industry. So historically, export controls have never been altered or changed in response to another type of policy issue. A control was either imposed or withdrawn or modified based upon the national security assessment associated with that item potentially going to a bad end user or a bad destination. What China has effectively leveraged is its ability to have an impact on the U.S. economy more broadly in completely unrelated areas, and that in two significant examples this year, in June of this year and then recently with the entity list affiliates rule, altered China has U.S. policy because of this threat. And so it remains to be seen how this leverage China has over the U.S. will affect other U.S. government actions. I honestly don't know the answer. I think a function of it will be the speed by which the U.S. government is able to find alternative sources of supplies of the magnets and other rare earths that are at issue before making a judgment on next steps.